Does the carpet match the drapes?
Not 50 Shades of Grey.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. Coming to you from the Recycle Garage.
Oh, good show.
In sunny Santa Cruz, California.
Nice.
Hey everyone, I'm in a good mood because wow, we had a great day at the garage today.
It's busy.
There was so much going on. We were helping so many people.
Hindering.
I heard you got a lot of university students today.
And everyone left. And that's the big success. Hey everyone, this is Liza. Joining me in the studio, excuse me, is Neil.
Hi there, Moto people.
And for those who don't know, I call out the names in order of how they're sitting in the room. And since Neil is next to me, that means he's running the board tonight.
Oh, God, help me.
He's the chairman of the board. BORED board.
I see what you did there, Knock.
Going around the room looking classy on the Classic Girl couch. Actually, looking a bit like a pirate on the Classic Girl couch. It's Miss Emma.
Hello, darlings. It's simply splendid to be here. Simply splendid.
I don't know. Ever since you got that new car, you're talking even more posh.
I say, no, I'm off to do Bentley things. Goodbye.
You're not going total pusho on us, are you?
Oh, fuck off, you surf.
Gone full colonial
Yeah.
on us.
Oh my gosh. And sitting where Neil would normally sit, it's the dulcet tones of Knock.
What's up, dickheads?
Oh, God, what a working class
He's back.
oik you are.
I never left, bro. He's
Oh my
back.
God.
Don't call it a comeback.
I'm like Pluto. Oh no, never mind. Fuck.
Wow, I don't know.
Fuck it.
I
What?
lost it.
So,
That,
Forget
that
it.
joke died.
Cell
It's
phone.
died a bad death.
See, this is how bad it gets.
Now I remember why you don't come on the show anymore.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
Knock, I wanted to say before we go on any further, it is actually lovely to have you back.
Oh, it's lovely to be back. Thank you for having me.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always lovely. Well, you're always here in the garage.
Well,
So
Knock, and
to us, you've never left.
Knock always shows up. And,
And immediately says, "What's free?"
yeah, basically
Yeah.
you
He comes for the free food and drinks.
you eat all the
Yeah.
food,
Yeah, right.
drop
Drink
a
all your
giant
waters.
Cleveland steamer in the restroom, and then go home.
Speaking of Cleveland Steamer, sitting next to him is Stumpy John.
Well, if you're looking for good life or financial advice, you've come to the wrong place.
Good.
I don't flush the toilet either. It's just there for somebody next who's gonna come by.
That was you?
Oh.
And-
Yeah.
And always bringing the good attitude. It's Bagel.
Hey, bringing the good attitude and the science.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You are scientific, aren't you, Bagel?
In some ways, I suppose.
Yes. Okay. Very good.
Oh.
No, I've lost. I'm
There you go.
I'm
You're
lost.
back. You're back.
Am I back?
You're back.
Okay, I was lost for a minute.
I wanted to, wanted just to recap. What a great day in the garage. Lots of people. I posted some photos on our Facebook page because it's always fun when the young people are showing up and we're giving out gear, we're giving out advice, we're teaching, we're helping. It's very rewarding. It was a good day.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I wanted to, if you recall last week's episode, Emma, do you remember last week's episode?
And I'm going to stand by what I said. The last week episode, you said some very disparaging things
I don't think so, but you may recall
about a goodbye,
I was saying that my dear friend Wendy,
who we all love like a sister.
I bet was yelling back at us while listening to the show.
I find that very hard to believe because Wendy is a woman of very high refinement and civility and not capable of bad words, including fuck, shit, poo.
Have you read her book?
You're getting buttered up.
But I was
Real
right.
good.
I was right because she was messaging me last week as she was listening and I thought, oh God, yep, I knew this was coming. And it was here's the thing. I don't think that I said anything disparaging.
I think you did. No, I think you did.
Wendy, do you think I said anything disparaging about you?
I don't know that you said disparaging things as such. You deliberately obfuscated
There
the
we go.
facts of the situation.
See how she's
That's
already got
not-
the tone.
Boy,
She's got the tone.
That's not
got
like
it.
Liza at all. What are you
And
talking about?
Wendy, in my defense, you see, these were the facts that were presented to me. So had I known the actual facts,
Mm.
you know, I might have been a little more. But I mean, I am going to say that FJR did make me want to sit in the grass and have a little cry, and I did.
So Liza called me earlier and she's like, I know you're mad at Emma. I know you're going to want to talk to Emma. I'm like, I am not the least bit mad at Emma because Emma made the very best decisions that she could based on the completely flawed information that she was presented. So
Thank you. Thank you, Wendy. I knew I could rely on you. So, moving forward, let's talk about this ghastly oath that Liza made of herself last week.
Indeed. So I think really the critical piece of information that was left out of that entire conversation is I sent her the information on that tracer for sale in January. So everything that has happened since then, like for all the reasons she told you the tracer was the perfect bike for the job, she's had that since January, and all the rest of this has been fluff.
Absolutely shocking.
Okay, now hold on.
Shocking omission.
Yes, but Wendy, I was holding off from buying anything because we were pursuing other avenues.
Oh, I see.
That's accurate. That
okay.
is accurate.
When it was
However-
decided that we were not going to go with these other avenues, we had a conversation and said the best option would be if that FJR worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that
So?
you told me about the tracer months before is irrelevant for two reasons.
Mhm.
One, I wasn't looking to buy a bike at the time, and two, it's not nearby, so I was looking nearby.
Meanwhile, here on,
But I'm just curious.
So,
here
what-
on
you know
Jeep
what
Talk,
was nearby? What's that one specific FJR out of the entire fleet of FJRs I own?
Yeah.
It is the only one I have never ridden. It's the only one that's an automatic. What we didn't know is if you were FJR shaped. So
Right.
for like 3 or 4 conversations a day for like a week and a half straight, I was like, if you're not FJR shaped, stop trying to bash it into shape. Like if it's not comfortable,
Yeah.
now you know you picked up the close FJR.
and
But see, she's taking this personally
No,
that it didn't
no.
fit me.
but the thing is, you're very, very valid there, Wendy, because I work on a lot of FJRs down at the shop, and I love them, but they are big bikes and heavy bikes, and you can put healer bars on them, you can drop the foot pegs, but as you quite rightly point out, if you're not FJR shaped, you can do what you want with that bike, and it's always going to be awkward.
100%. And my experience is people are either FJR shaped or Tenere shaped. And if you're Tenere
Yeah.
shaped, you're like Nikon shaped or Tracer shaped. It's that the ergonomics of the bike are decidedly different. And very rarely do you hear people say, I love my Tenere and I love my FJR.
Right.
I just realized
Right?
I think Knock is AT70 shaped.
I'm a amorphous blob shape.
Alas, Liza is Fantic Chopper shape. Now, so while we've got you here, because just vent away. You've ridden this beast that you lent to Liza. I thought I like FJRs, and I want to make that absolutely clear. I think FJRs, if you want to ride a long way, fast, there's very few bikes that can do what the FJR does. It's big, it's heavy, it's comfortable, it's fast as fury. I liked that FJR, but boy, that clutch frightened me terribly. So, what are your thoughts on that? Is it because it's worn, or are they all like that?
How did you not take offense at Emma's criticism of it?
Because we're going to back up half a step and fill in another gap in Emma's knowledge, in that I have never, ever ridden that bike.
Oh, yeah.
I literally have never ridden that
Wendy,
particular one.
I guarantee if you were to ride that bike, you'd pull up by the side of the road and go and sit in the grass and have a little cry and talk with yourself. I guarantee you.
I believe you, and I think you would come and cry with me, and we'd console each other about
what it is. Clutch it is.
Because it has been sitting in LA for a year. So all the people that rode it before it sat in LA for a year, before Liza picked up and failed to check the tire pressure, said it was fine. So I think we've got issues that have cropped up from it sitting, like the brakes, the brake issue, like the really, really rough gear engagement.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
those are important tidbits. And that leads me into my other
She's got her list.
complaint. I do. I'm a list maker. I got my list. So we have the problems that the bike has had that cropped up while it was sitting. That is exactly why I say you are better off with a higher mile bike that has been meticulously maintained than you are buying a garage queen.
Well, this bike had 77,000 miles on it, right?
Well, that's low to Wendy.
Yeah, but she had pitched me a Goldwing with 160,000.
And I mean, there's a huge validity to that. Motorcycles, I always tell customers at work, motorcycles are like thoroughbred horses. If you have a thoroughbred horse and you like going really, really fast on it, and then you put it in a field for a couple of years and just let it eat grass, it's going to get fat and lazy. And you're going to jump back on it, and it's not going to be the same horse that you put in the field. And so it is with a bike. They like being used, but you become, when a bike gets up to a certain mileage, it's less of a product of its manufacturer and more of a product of who's been taking care of it. So there's this huge layer of trust you have to put in the previous owner.
Well, one thing that we didn't really talk about when we got into this is a measure of a lifetime of an internal combustion engine isn't necessarily the number of miles it has on it. It's the number of times it's been started and stopped.
Well, that's one factor. I mean, there's a number of factors. It's one tiny factor. It's how it's been started. It's how it's been ridden when it's cold. It's how it's been ridden when it's hot. It's who has maintained it.
How much oil changes?
How many oil changes? It's just this enormous
neglect is hard
jigsaw
to pin
puzzle.
Down. Yeah.
Well, we have another person who took it for a test ride, so we can find out their opinion. Neil?
Yes, as a automatic no clutch noob, I haven't ridden a bike that hasn't had a clutch since I rode a CT70 back in the 70s. I share the same observations. The clutch on the FJ1300 was very lurchy. It was not smooth.
1300A, let's be specific.
Yeah, 1300A. And I got, I kind of adapt to it and got used to it and, found the bite point and was able to modulate it a little better, once I, rode it a mile or two. So, I didn't feel like I had to go into the ice plant and break down and, there on Westcliff. But, I could see that, it probably could be improved with some, maybe a new clutch or, some kind of maintenance on it.
I'd love it. I haven't really investigated how that clutch works. I suspect there's some kind of centrifugal action in it. And as you say, Wendy, it's been sitting around for a year, which can't be good. So probably with a bit of maintenance, and, maybe an inspection of the clutch. It might be a lot more pleasant to ride because generally FJRs are quite pleasant riding bikes.
I liked how it handled. I think it felt really good.
Okay.
It fit me just fine. It felt, I've had an FJ 1200, a 90s model, and it felt very familiar to me, interestingly enough.
So,
With the lowered pegs, I scraped one, so that's
You're not
kind of a
supposed to
problem.
say that out loud, Neil.
Just slightly, just a little. And I felt comfortable riding it. It had good low-speed handling. It felt, pretty easy to maneuver.
I forgot to tell you it had no rear brake.
Well, no, almost none. So yeah, I noticed that it has it's very mushy, and I think that would have been helpful to help modulate its lurchiness, also to control it.
okay, wait. So what's going on with this clutch? Is an automatic clutch?
Semi.
Or
Yeah.
semi. So does it? You have.
You have to shift
clutch
either with a
pull?
foot or with the paddles.
Okay.
But there is no clutch.
Yeah.
But there is electronic fuckery involved with going up and down gears.
But it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's kind of clunk.
Yeah,
It's and we'll get to a comparison to a different system.
I've got
Gotcha.
there we go. I found the problem. The gear shift is actually okay, and the bike itself is okay, but the clutch was very, very.
It's tricky.
It was on and off.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it wasn't a smooth engagement, so you felt like you were
Well-
pulling away on a clown car with eccentric
So
wheels.
is that just like
Whoa,
more clutch
whoa.
plates?
It's like, yeah.
Well, I know, and I'm sure knowing Yamaha and how proud they are of their engineering, I thought, my God, this can't be right that they'd sign off on this, even as an early bike. So clearly, there's a problem with that
I'll tell you
particular
something
bike.
else I found when I was riding it. A hard 2-3 shift. Getting on it. It was slipping.
Oh, probably more
Yeah.
plates, huh?
Yeah.
Just roach.
So there's something going on in
Well,
there.
I'm curious, Neil, because we also sent you out on a DCT. In fact,
Mhm.
announcement: somebody bought a new bike.
Well, I did and I didn't.
Well, but technically you did.
But it's not. Technically I did, but it's not like, oh, Emma's got a new bike that she's going to be riding on. Emma's got a new bike because I've got quite a hole in my bank account now, as you can imagine, and I needed something to fill it. And I did a deal,
Yeah,
and I ended up with a Honda Rebel 1100 DCT,
yeah,
which is a very good bike.
yeah.
indeed.
Very clean.
very clean. It's got a few
Mm.
cosmetic challenges, which I will attend to. But it's 2021. It's got no miles on it, 5,000 miles. So when I'm done with it, it'll look like brand new.
Mhm.
It's a good color. It's very dark grey metallic. It's a very
Yeah.
classy bike. But it's got the DCT, which theoretically should be a completely different ball game to the clutch in that Yamaha.
Yeah.
Well, in
It
fact,
is.
I thought that this was a perfect opportunity because we were talking last week about tech too soon. And so I'm wondering if that, if the Yamaha was too soon, because you compared it to the Honda, the DCT. How did that feel?
The DCT is very well thought out, and it did its job smoothly. In terms of downshifts, it's a throttle by wire, as far as I can tell. So it blips the throttle, so it makes that's pretty smooth. The upshifts are smooth.
Mm.
So to me, functionally, it works great. Sensory wise, of course, I've been riding clutch bikes, and I like to hold the RPM and use the engine braking and do that kind of thing. And it will let you do that. You can put it in manual mode. That's what I felt most comfortable with.
I have to
on
say,
the bike.
the takeoff from the parking lot on the
Yeah,
DCT
the-
was
Hey!
not as smooth
Well,
as it was on the FJR.
Yeah.
But nevertheless,
Yeah, it lurched hard.
It's
a little scary.
it puts down the power quite quickly. But
Mm.
I mean, I never forget that test that you did with your bike
Mm-hmm.
and Jim.
Mhm.
Jim on the manual,
Right.
you on the
yeah.
DCT, and the DCT was faster.
Well, we just did a drag race.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which
Well,
Well,
Yeah,
because
crazy.
it's
the shifts are
simply
instant.
optimal. It's taking out the human
right.
factor
I mean,
of when
that's
to
that's
shift.
the major advantage of a DCT is you're toggling back and forth between gear sets.
But Wendy, the reviews of the FJR were by no means a review of you and your choices. So taking in all those factors, yeah, I mean the A was just our review of Yamaha's technology that came out at the time, which I was kind of impressed that was, it's an 06, right?
It's an 08.
08, that they had an automatic then, but there was no fanfare about it like there was when Honda came out with the DCT.
So, how many generations is that bike, and what generation is the one that you have? Because I know,
So my almost all of my FJRs are Gen 1.
Okay.
The one that's out there is a Gen 3.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
the ergonomics are by and large the same.
Yeah.
So if Liza had said this fits me like a dream, but it's got all these problems, I have multiple other ones that I could
but
put her on.
No, my problem with the bike is that
could've gone
it doesn't fit me.
And that's huge for Liza. The thing I like the most about FJRs, and Neil broached on the subject, there's this delicious lineage going right back to 1984 with the original FJ 1100. And if you ride an FJ 1184, if you wanted to go fast,
muscle bike,
you had one option, and that was the FJ 1100. I mean, it was great. And it really set a standard. And then the FJ 1100 went through various incarnations, then became the FJ 1200. And that hung around for a long time.
Bike.
And, you know, in the mid-late 90s, you could still buy an FJ 12. And it was like a throwback in time. It's just brutally quick. And then they water-cooled it, and it became the R. And then all the incarnations. So there's like a jigsaw. There's this lovely, beautiful arc of development. And they all have a familiarity to them. If you ride a 2025 jigsaw and then an 84 jigsaw, there's a familiarity.
Oh, really?
Well,
oh, yeah. I mean, it's obviously the 2025 one is a very developed bike.
I mean, they must be doing something right. Like, I mean, only 3 generations, and the FGR, as we know it, started out, when did they first come out? Like 90-something?
2001 internationally, 2003 in the U.S.
Okay, yeah. So there's like not a lot wrong with it, considering there's only 3 generations. It's
it's a wonderful bike.
Yeah.
There's more than 3 generations now. We're just talking 3 generations between most of mine and the one that you've got sitting there.
Right.
But they're, fundamentally, they've made very few changes.
Yeah.
They've added a 6-speed, added cruise, but, like underwhelming changes that have not prompted me to.
It's what I would call incremental.
Yeah.
And my only overall, and it's not even really a criticism of FJRs, it's an observation, and funnily enough, it's the same with the ST, the 11, the 12, and the 13, is they are quite front heavy. And that catches you out. When you first ride one, they are heavy on the front. And just maneuvering, you think, Jesus Christ, there's a lot of mass at the front of this bike.
Yeah, I could feel that.
But you get used to it very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But it's ZX14s, ST13s, and FJRs all share exactly this trait of being very heavy in the front.
For me, I would adjust 3 things on that bike. One, the padded extra padding on the grips.
Well, I just put those back on the.
Right.
I took them off when I was trying.
So back to the slimline grips. I think it needs a slight increase in the preload because it was diving a little bit in corners, which usually means that the front end's kicked out too far. And put the normal pegs on.
Yeah, that's all setup stuff that can change.
Yeah.
But Wendy, I take offense that you didn't take offense at Emma's declaration on the automatic. Is that just because you haven't ridden it?
No, it's because I think that there are issues with that bike because it's been sitting for a year.
Right. And I'm very much inclined, knowing Yamaha as a company, knowing the refinement of the FJR, it was so glaringly bad. I feel it is a fault rather than an inherent fault. And so thank you, Wendy. I mean, as one mechanic to another, you understand. I mean, it's just my job to observe.
So verdict would be oil change and a clutch service?
I'd love to see how it works.
And possibly a new ABS pump?
So if it's centrifugal, as I think it might be, and it has shoes that expand, I suspect one's coming in before the other. So you get that jerkiness and that sort of eccentricity like a clown car wheel as opposed to the smooth whoosh, I'd love to dig inside one and find out what's going on in there. But yeah, I'm sure something
so
sticking.
You don't think it's a servo of some kind?
No, I didn't see it as being electronic in there. I see there's electronic intrusion in the gear shifting,
Yeah.
but I think the clutch is it's not a torque converter. I can tell you that now because there's direct drive in there.
Right.
So there's something that is biting in there. Whether that's controlled by a servo or just controlled centrifugally from engine speed, I don't know. But I think it's not working right.
I will tell you, even if the clutch, that said, even if the clutch were working right, I think jet downshifts are really clunky and rough, and it's something you don't you don't want to do that mid corner on that bike.
Yeah.
Wendy, did you get it all off of your chest, or was there anything else on your list?
No, well, I was just going to say as far as the clunky shifting, and yes, like Stockholm syndrome, people get used to their situations. But that is my husband's bike. He commutes in Los Angeles, and he really, really likes the automatic on that. So, like normally it's very smooth. But yeah, he said it was a very brief getting used to that functionality when it was shifting smoothly, and absolutely loved it in traffic. In fact, the guy who sold Liza the Tracer also put 70,000 miles on a 2008 automatic FJR. Said he absolutely loved it. It was a flawless bike for him. So I definitely think it is a case-specific issue that's not worth us fixing because Liza is not FJR shaped.
Yeah. And, as a commute bike in a heavy, heavy commute area like Los Angeles, and for anybody who's never experienced Los Angeles traffic,
fucking
it
nightmare.
Is wild.
Oh, God.
It's nothing like LA traffic. Oh, yeah.
It's its own unique kind of thing.
San Francisco's bad, blah, San Jose's bad. It's nothing compared with LA.
It's just like the number of lanes.
It's the number of
lanes.
It's the narrowness of the lanes because the real estate, the lanes are narrow.
They do like 10 foot.
And everyone drives at 1 billion miles an hour.
Yeah.
It is not for the faint heart. I used to drive Greyhounds through LA, and man, you need your wits about you. If you're driving a Greyhound through LA in those narrow lanes, you're like, oh my God.
It's a gauntlet.
It is a gauntlet. So my hat's off to your husband. And I think functioning correctly, any automatic bike would be an ideal commute bike. And that delicious amount of torque on it.
I like being able to feather the clutch, but that's just my riding habit.
Yeah.
Believe me, when you're pulling that clutch in and out 1,000 times on your way to work and you've got the carpal tunnel going, you'd be like, okay.
No, I do. I commute, 40 miles each way 3 times a week and, do lane split and, emergency brake and all the things. And it doesn't really bother me using the clutch, but my bike has a very late clutch pull, so I'll give it that.
Well,
so I have one more thing I want to add on my
get it
list.
all out. Get it all out.
I'm not going to get it all out. I have a whole nother list that I'll take up with you in private. So one other thing that Liza left out is that my friend with the Goldwing only lived like an hour up the coast. So I want to read you guys the actual message I sent him. Okay. I wasn't trying to say this is the ideal bike. I said, if you feel like making the ride down there just to have some fun and enjoy the ride, the garage is like a mini ride to wrench of cool people every Sunday.
Aww.
It's usually busier in the afternoon, which makes it more fun. She's keen to sit on it, maybe take it for a spin, check out the accessories, talk about service history, but I doubt she'll pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, he was he had a lot of fun hanging out at the garage all day.
Yes. So more than anything, it was hey, I saw your bike for sale. Go down there and show Liza why maybe this is not a Goldwing type ride that we're getting ready to do, and enjoy the garage because it's awesome.
But then he didn't bring that bike down. He brought down his newer Goldwing that he preferred to ride.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Did you get it all out?
For now.
I hope. Okay. So, but I did want to, thanks to Wendy for hooking me up with the Tracer, which, I mean, I've ridden, our friend's Tracer, and I'm thinking it's close enough to the Niken that I feel it's going to be a good match.
I think you're all right. It's
enough
got long legs, right? I mean, for a foot peg to your butt.
Yeah. Enough so. Here's the logistics I'm doing to go get it. So next week I am loading up Wendy's lovely FJR on the trailer, driving down to LA to drop it back off, leave my car, get an Uber to the airport to fly to Seattle, where I catch my flight to Dallas that arrives at 7 a.m., where I catch an Uber to her friend's house to go pick up the bike, and then I have to ride it to Santa Fe, 600 miles. That's day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's involved.
Well, day two. That's actually 2 days.
When do you get your car back?
And then I ride to Vegas, and then I ride to LA, and I put it on the trailer and drive it home.
Okay.
But here's the thing I figured. Because Wendy is nice enough to make it easy 600-mile riding days on our trip. So I'm like, well, might as well throw myself into the fire and just do a couple 600-mile days, one with no sleep, and see how it goes, because this is what you got to do to ride with Wendy.
Yeah. Yep.
At a
I figured it's a
minimum.
perfect test. But her friend Tyler, he's so sweet. He's like, do you want me to be your witness for the beginning of the iron butt? I'm like, no, I'm good, thanks. I'm just going to keep it to a nice, easy 600 miles.
Yeah. 600 miles is doable. It's a long day, but it's doable.
It's a short day for Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're riding at a
It's
good clip.
nice and easy. Plenty of room for other activities in our day.
Sure.
I mean, what is your ideal day, Wendy? 900,000?
I legitimately don't have an off switch. So if I'm like, if you've ever held a little dog over a bathtub and they just keep going, like they're paddling.
Right.
Yeah.
That's me on a motorcycle. So if I'm by myself and I don't have a need to stop, like I'll put on 1,500 miles and then I'll go, I guess I should eat today, and then look around and all the restaurants are closed and I'm like, well, may as well keep riding, I guess.
It's ramen
So-
for you.
Yeah. You can't be no
Well-
little bitch when you ride with Wendy. Is that what you're saying?
I eat out of my tank bag, so
There
I
you
always have some veggies and nibbles in there.
There you go.
But yeah, and that's the thing. That's why it is so important to get a bike that fits you well.
Yeah.
If you're not FJR shaped, I mean, it makes such a difference, because I have a custom seat on my bike. All these little odds and ends that you put on the bike to make it perfect.
Mm.
My husband also has FJRs. He also has custom seats and things on his bike, and I hate riding his bike
Yeah.
because it's made for him. It's not made for me.
And
So
is it-
when you're comfortable, just go all day.
It's time to share something candid, and I'm sharing this from a good place, because just so everybody knows, if you listen to this show and you listen to the good time we have at the garage and all the places we go to, what you don't realize is just how much Liza struggles with her body and how broken it is. Because Liza's knees are just destroyed. And I see the pain.
I would like to point out, when Wendy and I get up out of a chair and walk, we have a very similar wobble.
I know.
She matches my wobble.
But it's
She's also very broken in different
right.
ways.
Do you guys have the same knee surgeon?
It's and I see the pain and the struggle just doing normal everyday things. And having a bike that fits is number one priority. Could be the best bike in the world, but if it's uncomfortable, you did quite well with that Indian Chieftain, didn't you, Liza?
Yeah, when I did the World ride.
Yeah.
So does that mean you're gonna get like 3 Airhawks, Liza?
No, just the one.
Well, no, it's not necessarily it's the butt. It's the angle of your arms
everything.
and the angle of your knees and just where you're sitting.
I think we've wrapped up on the FJR for now. We'll see. But I wanted to talk about something else, and Wendy, this would include you as well. I've been running the Recycle Garage now for, I think it's like 17 years. Maybe.
That's
I was gonna
almost
say
2 decades, homie.
Yeah, it's got to
It's
be
been a while.
17 years, yeah.
And I was talking with somebody earlier this week who was saying like, "Oh, did you hear about Skidmark Garage in Cleveland? It was closing. I don't know if you know that, Emma."
No.
Yeah, Brian, our friend who does MotoGo.
Yes.
He's still doing MotoGo, but that he's had to shut down that co-op garage space. And remember, this was a real trend like 10 years ago.
Right.
We
Yeah.
had a bunch of them in San Francisco. You had Piston and Chain, and
Moto Guild.
Moto Guild, and a
Well,
couple
Moto
of different.
Guild is still going.
Yes, but not in all the locations.
Right.
And you had a lot of people trying to start up a for-profit co-op garage, which was a cool concept. You had Lucky Wheels Garage down in LA that was really cool. And the concept being that you rent space or time on a lift with and use all their tools, but you also build a community, support a community through that. And a lot of these co-op garages did just that. They had community, they had classes, they sell used gear. They did a lot to benefit the community, but I've seen them closing one by one. There's not many left. And it's I mean, I think that's sad because it's a good concept, but for many of them, it's insurance, it's rent, it's hard to be able to make a living that way. In fact, I remember the guys at Lucky Wheels said, and same with like the Moto Guild in San Jose, they can make more money servicing people's bikes than they could renting out the tools in the bays.
Yeah.
It was just that simple. And in fact, many of them were struggling, so they started taking in service bikes to make money to keep the co-op going alive. But then it just came to a business decision of, well, either we need to close this or we need to just be service all the time. So I've seen that happen to a lot, and that's unfortunate.
You can't do a hybrid model, huh? Because it's just not enough floor space and liability.
Well, here's the thing. I think we might have the longest running co-op garage in the U.S.
Yeah, but there's a number of reasons for that.
Yeah, I agree.
And the number one reason for it is completely free. And we are rabidly anti-money. And once you remove that from the equation, and I mean, when I compare the recycled garage to Mototown, the concept is exactly the same. It's keeping bikes on the road. The huge difference is Mototown is my means of support.
Right.
That's my living. That's how I earn my living. So I have to be profitable. By the time I've paid the rent, by the time I've paid the insurance, by the time I've paid the payment on the stuff I owe, when I've paid all those bills, now I can start making a profit and supporting myself and giving myself independence in a very uncertain world. That's its job. The recycle garage is very, very different. Its job is not to make money because there is no money to be had. It's simply to build community. And I think that's what keeps us going. And it's this formula that I've got a job and I earn money and my weekends are free. Mm-hmm. You've got a job that you earn money.
Say that again?
Well,
I have a job?
You call it a job, but you have a means of earning money and your weekends are free. And the same goes for you, John. And all the regulars who come down the recycle garage are able to support themselves away from the garage so they can give their time freely.
And also, the big component, too, is like just the real estate space and the place where we actually do the work is, for the last 17 years, been pretty fucking accommodating. You know, it's like,
well, yeah,
that's the lucky stars kind of a thing, too.
Yeah,
yes.
all the planets aligned for this.
Yeah.
I don't think finding accommodating real estate is as hard as you think. Especially in an urban area.
In California, it can be, but
it can be a challenge.
But what I wanted to say is, I have had for years people reach out and say, "Gosh, I wish I had something like this where I live."
Yeah,
and I always respond with, "Well, then why don't you do it?" And we've had a couple times. There was, I don't know, this is, I think, before your time. There was Recycled Chilliwack. Do you remember that?
I remember Recycled Chilliwack.
Yeah, and this guy, David, he decided, I want to do what you guys are doing. I've got a garage. I've got a driveway. I've got tools. I'm just going to open it up. And he asked for my advice. And I said, yeah, get chairs, get 10 millimeter sockets, commit a day a week. That's it. 1 day a week. And he did. And this woman found him, and she started going there, and they became friends, and they're working on bikes together. And I could see it, the seeds, that the saplings growing of this community. And it started out with just 2 strangers who became friends. And then life happened. And I think he lost his job or he had a baby. It was just, they had to move. It was like one thing, life happened and it fell apart, which is unfortunate. But the question that I'm giving to you all, but also to everyone listening, anywhere, it doesn't matter what country you're in, what state. My question is, why don't you do it? It's that simple. And you all here in the room, and Wendy and Bagel, you all have been here. You've seen the rewards we get for helping people. It's very rewarding.
You got to find your country's version of Liza and Emma. That's the secret.
No, I was going to say that. That's the difference is, Liza, your commitment to being here every week, the consistency that's there is part of what the sauce is here.
I mean, you can't be the only 6-foot lesbian in the world. That's my theory.
And Emma, I'm not discrediting you at all, because you've made the garage more than it ever was, but it was existing for many years.
Oh yes,
because of people like Knock,
right,
like Doug, all these people who were coming and then turning around and helping others. It was that system of and Bagel, you come and learn, and then you turn around and help someone else.
All I did was send it in another direction. And I hear this time and time again. I could never open Recycle Garage because we don't have a professional mechanic like Emma. But you don't need one. You just need a collective mind to approach a problem, discuss it, figure out a solution, and work together on it. And that's what community is.
Real quick. Hey, John.
Yes.
Do you mind, see that mic stand that's next to you? Do you mind just taking that outside and whacking the person whose car alarm
Gotcha.
keeps going off?
Hold on. Hold my beer.
Sorry about that. It's very warm out, so we have the window open, and somebody, I think they're working on their car, so apologies if you hear that. But so I've always asked the question, why don't you do it? Now, I can tell you when people say, hey, I'm interested in doing what you're doing, the first 3 questions they ask, how much do you charge?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're looking to
make a living,
make a profit off of it, which in many cases you should, except that we're seeing this model like Skidmark, they're struggling. So the answer is 0. I make nothing. I sell nothing. I offer nothing. 0.
We occasionally get some sweet donated gear.
The second question.
The other question is, how much do you lose?
Well, the second question they ask is, how much? Aren't you worried about things being stolen? I say, things get broken or go missing all the time. I don't know where all the 8 millimeter sockets went.
Try wrenches too.
But the amount of things that are donated and given here way way outweighs that. So I don't sweat it. I bitch and moan, and then I just buy a replacement. But then the third question people ask is, what do you do about insurance?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't have insurance because I don't sell anything. I don't offer anything. I let people do the job themselves, and I just give them direction or tools or instruction or advice. And is that a risk? Possibly. But that's not something I worry about. And so the other question I put out there, and I was having this conversation, Wendy, she has some, the glass is half empty kind of, I would say, responses is, why don't people take that risk? Why don't people just do it? And I find that a lot of people have, this is kind of where society's gone in many ways. The risk, they're so more worried about the risk and less aware of the potential reward. The small risk outweighs the great reward, because that's how society is.
It's kind of reflected in motorcycling too. There's like that risk of riding a bike, and
absolutely,
somehow you figure out that it's still totally worth it to go and ride motorcycles.
Yeah,
and I guess it's the same thing with the garages. You just can't afford to fuck up.
But somebody can't know how great the reward is until they actually have created a community. And God, I'm like, a lot of the kids who are coming today on their new bikes and doing their first tire change and figuring it out. And I'm like when Mateo left today, I'm like, hey, I'm proud of you. You did a good job.
Yeah.
And it's so rewarding for me to see people figuring it out. But Wendy, what do you think are the big fears and the risks that people need to be aware of if they consider doing something like this?
I think as a shop owner, the big risks from my point of view are liability. So even if you're not selling anything or doing any of the work yourself, there is always that potential risk. And I know I've got commercial space again, theoretically a great space.
Mm-hmm.
I can hold garage nights, things like that, where we can do, educational events. But as soon as I start putting tools in your hand, that is a risk that my insurance will not cover.
Mm-hmm.
So that becomes, that is a very real concern. I mean, that is business and all of the equipment and tools and everything that support that business that are at risk.
Bagel, you have a garage. Why haven't you opened up a recycle garage in your space?
Well, I'm kind of a remote area, first of all, so it wouldn't be the best location. But I guess I have some privacy concerns. I have a lot of stuff in my shop. Plus, I don't know if I'd be able to be that consistent at, running it. And I just don't know if it's something I've really had the energy to be able to do with a lot of stuff I've had going on. So
you made a point, and I'm recognizing this, that I know I'm different in that a lot of people don't want people touching their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, my tools are being put away in the wrong places. They're being broken. And I mean, this is something like, but whatever. But I know that other people are very particular about their tools, their things, where they go.
And I think that if you were to commit to doing this, and let's use Bagel as an example, you would have to say, okay, on Sunday, we're going to commit to the garage, which means that all of my stuff gets put away somewhere, with a separate shed, separate corner, and then you buy just a basic tool set from Craftsman.
Oh, you mean
don't let people get the good tools.
You mean like the drawer I have that says Liza's stuff, no touchy, which is the first drawer you go to when you want the good drill bit?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where all the good drill bits are. It's true.
But yeah, I mean, it is hard. If I go back, because I've been coming here for a decade now, and it's a huge part of my life, and I never intended it to be. But you kind of get drawn in, and it's a very easy place for me to be on a Sunday. Do I do other stuff on Sundays? Yes, of course I do. I can't always be here. But it's a very, very easy place for me to find myself on a Sunday if I've got nothing better going on, which is most Sundays.
It's pretty chill around here.
Yeah, it's just a neat place to be.
Well, that's something too. Is I wanted to talk about the reward. I mean, why you keep coming? Because I think this is a thing. People are aware of the risk. They're aware of what might happen, but I don't think they're aware of the reward. So I wanted to take some opportunities. John, do you have any things or events or people or something that you think is cool? Like, I think we were talking about Sophia today. It's so fun to watch Sophia, this little shy young woman who comes and hangs out with all of us, who left here with a katana on her back today.
That's what I noticed about her. She's like more comfortable hanging out and just talking and shooting the shit now. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, having a katana helps.
Yeah, that too.
No, I think it's what I was looking for when I came here was the community, and it's added benefit that in this community we've got people from like Sophia all the way up to guys in their 70s that show up. So having that breadth of just different people coming together, I think is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's for me, it's also about giving back to the culture and giving back to the lifestyle that kind of has enriched me so much over my years.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm really all about like seeing this subculture continue, for another generation or two.
That's a really good answer, John.
Thank you.
Knock.
Appreciate that.
What's been some rewards you've gotten here?
Too many to count. Just hanging out, seeing you guys' smiling faces. That's always nice. Get to listen to my stupid jokes.
You like your stupid jokes.
No, I'm gonna be a better rider, and that's for sure. And I take an interest into actually dirt biking as a basic normal, as a practical thing. What else? It's just like I don't know. I just like it's like the familiarity. It's like I'm not religious, but this is kind of like a little church thing that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I come over and hang out and see how everybody's doing and just get the pulse of things. Yeah.
Yeah. How about for you, Emma? What has been, some of the rewards that you never would have imagined when you started coming here?
My life changed completely. My life, because of the garage, my life changed completely. When I first started coming here, yes, I was building bikes, but I was building bikes myself. I drove a tour bus for a living. That was my job. And I used to docent at the museum on Sundays, which was okay, but not the most exciting thing. And which is where I met Liza and, the rest of them. And since that point, since I started coming back, I got back into the motorcycle industry. I owned my own fucking shop. I got back into European motorcycling because of the garage. I met Kat. We came up with a formula. We do it every year. We've had the most amazing times. And it's not just giving confidence to the people that you're helping at the garage. Because you see people's confidence bloom, like, the UCSC students. And they're all brilliant young men and women. I mean, they're at UC. Mm-hmm. So they're clearly quite smart. But, they're not used to working on a bike, and you can see they're kind of clunky and, I'm not sure how things work. And you show them how to do something, and then they do it. And I go, would you check my work, Miss Emma? And I'll go over and check, you did a great job. And whoa, you just see them glow up. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to give somebody that push and go, you might fuck it up, but, like, focus on doing well and not fuck it up.
But, it gave me confidence as well. Yeah. Because at 54 years old, having been a mechanic for a large portion of my adult life, I've only ever had two careers. I've driven heavy buses, and
are you counting the OnlyFans?
Yeah. No, I still do the OnlyFans, darling. That's where the real money comes from.
Big shrimp.
I also like how you're just like now more inclined to let people do the work instead of having to do.
Yeah. Well,
be able to let go a little bit.
Well, and you were always very, very kind in the early days, Nock, because you always gave me kudos, and you say, look, you work all week. When I got back into the motorcycle industry, it was really only about a year after I started here.
Yeah.
And you said, you work on bikes all week, and then you come here and work on bikes some more on a Sunday, and say, yeah, but I love it. But when I first started coming to the garage, I was like 54. And I thought, my days I'm in the autumn of my motorcycling, from this point forward, it sounds awful that I'm just going to be piddling around, riding locally and just, building occasional bikes for me. And my confidence increased. And I'm like, oh, maybe I am quite a good wrench. All my life I've suffered terribly from imposter syndrome. And I've thought, I'm this big phony. I'm a terrible mechanic. I'm not very bright. And people are going to find out, and I'm going to be very, very humiliated. And so I've been plagued with that all my life. And
plop yourself with a bunch of shitty mechanics.
Yeah, right. So by hanging out at the garage where everyone is a far worse mechanic than me, it makes me feel... No, but I mean, just problem solving. And I'm like, well, maybe I was quite good at this. And maybe I should get back into this. And then, like the shop... Mototown could not exist without the work I do at the Recycle Garage. It simply couldn't, because it's the mindset of the job, the mission is to get the bike repaired.
Yeah.
And yes, I have to get money to make a living, but job number one is to get the bike repaired safely. And yes, at Mototown, I can charge a fair amount for that. But the confidence that I got here, helping people with their bikes and getting my standards back up to where they should be, helped me beyond measure when I opened that shop. If it wasn't for the Recycle Garage, I'd probably still be driving tour buses. I'd still be doing the museum on Sunday. And it wouldn't be a bad life. I like driving tour buses, and I sure like being a docent at the museum, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as much fun as I'm having now.
Yeah.
So the other thing I feel, and the reason I'm kind of putting this out there again to people, I think that now is a very important time in the world to put something like this forth. There's a lot of division in the world, and this is an opportunity to put something good out there, something that's not about profit or gain, financially, but just because you feel good helping people. And I want to just kind of give some more direction to people if they're considering doing something like this. The one thing is, we don't ask people, who did you vote for? We don't ask people, where are you from? We don't ask people, it doesn't matter.
We don't care what they do as long as they're cool when they come here.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how
It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter.
Just be cool.
All you've got to do, all you have to do to come to the garage, show up, be cool.
Yep.
That's it. Show up, be cool. On the odd occasion that I've had to chase people out and Liza's had to chase people out, and we've got no problem doing that at all if people show up and they're disrespectful to other people here. Doesn't matter how they're disrespectful, but if people are disrespectful to anybody at the garage here, they get chased out. And they get a little lecture and say, if you want to continue coming, this is how you need to behave. And some choose to do so, some choose not to and not come back. But that's the only thing that will get you booted out of this garage. Being disrespectful to somebody else here. Otherwise, everyone, and I mean everyone, is welcome. And you have to have that mindset.
Right. We also, it helps too that we like touring bikes, adventure bikes, vintage bikes, race bikes.
Scooters,
anything. We respect and enjoy and
it's
appreciate.
Not spiders or
you know what? It's like
everyone.
Interestingly enough, the willingness to meet new people is sometimes a hurdle for a lot of people.
It is,
and you just got to get over that, man. That's part of it,
it's the same old thing. Everybody spouts about tolerance,
right,
and camaraderie, and it's very, very easy if somebody looks like you and talks like you and votes like you and, has a similar lifestyle to you. The challenge comes when somebody is so different to you, culturally, politically, demographically.
But there's one thing in common.
But there's a commonality, and it makes our life very easy, because this huge part of our life, every single person sitting in this room right now, and Wendy and Bagel, riding two-wheeled contraptions is a massive part of your life. So this is a huge part of your life. So you find somebody else who's got an equally massive part of their life devoted to motorcycles. The rest it's just a trifle. It's just, it really is.
So, Wendy, just curious, because you've been here a couple times. What for you has been the enjoyable thing? What have you enjoyed about this?
I mean, I think it's just fantastic across the board. Just so many different types of people, so many different kinds of bikes, and you see the guys and girls that come in and they're really tentative. I mean, I heard about this from a friend of a friend, like kind of conspiratorial. I don't really know what this is, but and 20 minutes later, everybody's friends. Okay, here's where you find this, and here's what you're looking at, and to watch people leave with the joy of a job well done is really cool. Last time I was there, I was helping a guy that it was his first bike. He didn't know how to check the chain. Tire pressures were really low. Basic stuff. And you see him swell with pride, and he's like, I'm going to come back next week, and I'm going to do the next thing. So it is fantastic, and I will say I think there's some legitimate reasons that people might be concerned about opening their personal garage like you do, but there are a lot of ways to grow community and support the community. I mean, Liza and I do workshops together all the time where we teach mechanical skills, a lot of women's events, but to anyone really. Motorcycle accident scene first aid skills, travel planning. There's so many different things that you might say, again, I'm not a mechanic, I can't do this, but you do have some skill. You do have something that sets you apart as a motorcyclist that you can share. And I know, just like Emma, I have struggled with imposter syndrome, and who am I to tell people how to do anything in their motorcycle career? And I realized, people are they're sponges. They want to learn from my mistakes. They want to learn from my background. And everybody has something like that can enrich the community and bring people closer together, even if it doesn't mean opening your garage up. So find that thing.
Yeah, and I wanted to give some alternatives that maybe you all here weren't even aware of. I know that there was a space up in Portland for a while that they were doing it where they met on Tuesday nights and they were building a bike together. So I wanted to just throw out some alternatives. It doesn't have to be a big thing where you have to have enough space like we do in the parking lot out there for everyone to come up on their bike. But sometimes it can be working on a single project. It could be a weeknight, right? I remember the place was called the Barrage. They had built a bar in their garage, and all the buddies would come around on Tuesday nights and wrench on this old bike. And I loved that concept. And in fact, when the Recycle Garage first started, what I did was I was going around and picking up free bikes that were abandoned in people's yards and collecting them. And somebody would come to the garage and would get to adopt a bike and fix it up. You remember that, right, now?
Dude, the first day I was here, you try to send me off with a TW200 or some Suzuki bullshit. I don't know.
That DT?
Was it a
DT that somebody donated?
I was like, dude, this is kind of cool. You give me a free bike. I'm showing up. I can't do nothing with this, but I really appreciate it. And I think that's when I started coming. When you realize I was getting free shit here. This is crazy. What's going on here? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that, just getting old bikes and working on them together. And that's how I slowly built up the community. And what I love is that Doug, who's been coming for almost all 17 years, still has that first bike I gave him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That he
Crunch?
Yeah. That he built up lovingly. He still has that.
Because it's become a big part of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Just owning it.
Yeah. Other things that could be done, it could be a race bike that you want to fit, and then everyone can have this shared kind of track bike or something. So it doesn't have to be a lot of space for everyone to work on their bikes like I do. I'm fortunate in that I have a space where, as Knox said, all the neighbors tolerate us.
Mm-hmm.
We're using the neighbor's parking lot that's behind my garage with their permission and the tenant's permission. And all of the neighbors around us who all tolerate us and let us do this. And so I'm just fortunate. But even just having a driveway and a small garage, you could do it. I even at one point, I don't know if you know this, Emma, I looked at moving when the building was for sale, and I didn't know if we'd get to continue.
I remember very well.
I was reaching out to some different businesses that were in the motorcycle industry who would be willing to let us leave a storage container in their parking lot and to come out on a Sunday and set up our little generator and have a little workbench and tools and then spill out into the unused parking lot on that day. I was looking at what are alternatives. So I'm just throwing that out because I would love to appeal to people to consider doing this. Consider opening up your home or opening up a space and helping on a weekend or a weeknight or whatever, but also heeding with what Wendy said, or if anyone else wants to give. I want people to be aware that there are risks to doing that. But that, for me personally, rewards so far outweigh the risks. But again, in society now, there's so much fear of risk, like I said at the beginning, that for many people that outweighs the potential reward.
Right.
And I would love for this world to not have that fear.
Yeah, and we're not being Pollyanna about it. I mean, it's fear and division has become very, very normal. And as uncomfortable as it is, it's a very easy place to fall into. And just the rewards of getting away from that place are huge. They really are. That said, from a mechanic standpoint, I'm far more likely to take risks here than at the shop, both with myself and with techniques I use on a bike. But
the reality is most of what we're doing is done in the daylight and done without power tools. It's hand tools and sunlight.
Yep. And seat of your pants stuff. Absolute seat of your pants stuff. It's great.
And I know not everyone lives in a place that has sun and good weather that much of the time, but there's a lot of different ways that this can be done. I personally would love to see it happen. I would love it if garages or businesses did something like this. I even talked to, at one point, our friend Greg at Gilroy Motorcycle Center. I was like,
yeah, there you go.
Why don't you have one bay in your shop that people can reserve and rent? They're going to be ordering whatever parts and supplies they need from you. But if there are people who know how to change their oil, but don't have the space, so like that hybrid of a community co-op garage and a for-profit garage, what do you think about that idea, Wendy? Do you see some risks in that?
It's a liability issue. It's the insurance companies will not let you. They won't insure you if you are letting random people walk into your garage and expose you to potential risk. Do I think it's right? No, I think it's a bummer that that's where we are in the world. But again, your audience expands beyond the U.S. There's a lot of places in the world that don't necessarily have these same sorts of insurance landscapes.
There are a lot of places in this country. Like, have you been to Alabama? They don't give a fuck about laws. But I mean, there are places that have land and space and community. They rely on community less than like laws and legalities. You know what I mean?
And if we're talking about this on a national landscape, if we can do this in California with all its supposed draconian laws, with all its supposed insurance problems, with all its supposed expenditure, and yes, that is a valid argument. But if we can do it here, you can do it in your state.
Yeah. Bagel, you had something you wanted to say?
I lost it.
You lost it.
Go ahead.
So I just want to end with the same offer that I've always thrown out there, that if anyone is interested in trying to do something like this, my offer is that you're welcome to use the Recycle name and you're welcome to use the logo. You can be Recycle Tampa or Recycle Billings or Recycle Pasadena
or Alabama.
Well, that's a state.
But,
and my
Recycle Montgomery. Yeah.
My offer is thus. If you start a legitimate co-op garage and you ever get stuck and the timeline is right, you can call me and I will try and get you out of a hole.
Oh, that's very generous.
And that's my genuine offer. I can't offer that to everyone because my phone had never stopped ringing. But if you are serious about opening a recycle garage and you're worried that sooner or later a problem is going to come in and it's going to stump us, if that's your only worry about starting a garage, reach out here and I will give you the resources that you need, that you get a free Ask Miss Emma card. And you can call me in real time and we can video chat and I will walk you through the problem and I will get you out of that hole.
John, I'm serious. If that alarm goes off one more time,
you're about to lose your mind, aren't you?
I'm about to lose my mind.
We will.
Well, I know it's a live recording.
My number one advice to build a community, and Emma, I'm not picking on you here, but Emma, do you know what the number one rule in the garage is?
Yeah, don't put shit on chairs.
Do you know why that is the number one rule?
Because I put shit on chairs.
No. Why is that the number one rule?
People want to sit down.
So maybe this is why you don't know this rule. To me, an open chair is an invitation to stay. And as long as I have open chairs, people will stay. And that's how you build community. Otherwise, people will come, do their shit, and leave.
Yep.
So that's why, Emma, I'm always giving you shit about getting your stuff off the chairs. Because to me...
Still doing that, Emma? Jesus.
I know.
Today.
God.
Because to me...
I was very flustered today. I was very flustered. There was a lot going on. There were pink slips to sign. I was saying goodbye to a very trusted friend today. And I was very flustered today. I mean, I'm calmer now.
Bagel's now like, what friend did you say goodbye to today?
I said goodbye to my lovely Jaguar today.
Oh, the kitten.
The kitten.
The kitten's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was very, very hard. That has been a very, very trusted car for me for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people really associated me with that car away from the garage. But
now you've got the Packard and a Bentley?
Yes.
Yes, the Packard.
No, I'm doing Bentley stuff now.
No.
I say,
So-
hello.
Moved up in the world.
So there you go. That's my advice. You just get empty chairs and have them available for people to sit. And that's how you build a community. So hopefully somebody's out there is interested. If so, you're always welcome to reach out to us at motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. I'd be happy to give you advice, to give you the logo.
Yes.
And I'm urging, think about it. Now's the time.
It's been a while since we had one of these ones that tell people to do what we did, huh?
Yeah.
Almost like plus 4 or 5 years or something. Maybe.
It's been a while.
time.
It's been a while.
So we had a really nice couple come to the garage today. We didn't talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
So I was ankle deep in clutch, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time with them, but I know you all did.
Yes, Pamela and do you remember I'm forgetting his name. Deacon? No. Yes. Really nice couple. Listeners
from Napa.
came by from Napa.
Yeah. That's a long way to come down to see us.
And in fact, I'm glad you brought that up because I thought it was really cool. I was giving them a tour of the studio here, and she was looking around at some of the stuff, and she saw, I think, over on the mantle, one of the WRWR stuff. She goes, "Oh, do you know about WRWR?"
Oh, how funny.
You get to know do the.
That's
do you know
awesome.
who I am? Do you know who I am?
Well, I gave her a look, and she's like, "Oh, you know about it?" She goes, "Oh, do you wait? Is this you? Like, is this you?" Like, and I was like,
that's funny.
"Yeah," but I love that much like the garage, where it's not me out there helping. Everyone goes and helps. It spreads beyond.
Mm-hmm.
That the same with War, that somebody had learned about War, and she's like, she'd only had one baton. She's like, can I pass you a baton? I'm like, I think you want mine because it's a golden baton. But yeah, that was really cool.
And she's a new rider too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
that segues me into something. Knock, did you need to leave? Or
Yeah, I
do
need
you,
to skedaddle.
or do you want to stay for a minute? Because I'm going to give you guys a quiz.
I'll give you a minute.
Give me a minute. So there's a perfect segue in that the WRWR app has challenges in it. And again, anybody can download the app. Anyone at all. Doesn't matter, male or female. Dudes can't pass a baton. That's all. But anyone can get it. And there's a lot of cool things in there. But one of them is the challenges. And I wanted to do one of these challenges with everyone here to see how you do. Wendy, I know you've been doing the challenges. By any chance, did you do the ACU racing quiz yet?
I did. Yeah.
This is a good one. So the ACU, Emma, do you know who the ACU is?
ACU?
Yeah.
No.
Auto Cycle Union.
Oh, that ACU from England. Yeah, of course.
Yes, they are the racing.
Yeah. It's like FIM, but for England.
Exactly. And so they're one of our partners, and we're doing a lot of stuff with them.
Hey.
And one of the things we do, some of these challenges are just fun things to test you or to encourage you to try new things.
These like really esoteric questions, like who won
So,
second place. In
what we created
1932?
was-
Did you say esoteric?
Yeah, sure.
The ACU racing quiz that I want to give to you all to see how you do.
You quisling.
All right.
Mm.
So we'll go one at a time. We'll start with you. Emma,
Hello.
how many laps do speedway riders race for?
Mm.
Oh, I haven't been to a speedway race for a long time.
And
Does everyone here know what speedway is?
Yes.
It's short
'Cause
flat track, but
we
it's
don't
it's
have it
very
here.
it's very fast paced racing.
it's like 15 laps or something.
No, way
No,
less
no
than
breaks.
that. No
Less than
breaks.
that?
Way less than that.
It's like
four.
three.
One
It's like 3
gear.
laps, isn't it?
Yeah, four.
Well,
three.
all right. So we're going to take the quiz. So you're saying 4?
Yeah.
All right. Let me put that down. Emma says 4. All right. Let's go to Knock. Knock.
Yeah.
What is the maximum number of participants allowed in a flat track race?
Oh shit.
And this is again according to the ACU.
Flat track race in England.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be different than here.
Ooh, yeah, maybe I'm thinking.
Your choices are 6, 8, 10, and 12.
Oh, that's definitely not U.S.
I'm thinking 12.
12?
Yeah.
All right. Johnny, how many sections are typically in an ACU trial GB event?
I don't know.
So the
Yeah,
trials.
You're not using
trials,
real words on that one.
It's called the
I know what a trials
Trial
event
GB
is.
trials event, or trail. It might be Trail GB.
How many what?
How many sections are typically in a trials event?
You picked the one thing I don't know anything about.
Your choices are 5 to 10, 10 to 15, or 15 to 20.
5 to 10.
5 to 10. All right. Wendy, which motorsport discipline do you think has the highest number of female racers?
Mm.
Your choices are motocross, supercross, that's one, road racing, enduro and hard enduro, flat track, dirt track,
Hmm.
speedway, or trials.
Ooh.
Which motorsport discipline has the highest number of female racers?
I actually got this wrong on the quiz, and I think what I picked was motocross, and it's different in.
So what's your answer here?
England. I'm gonna stick with motocross because I don't remember if that's what I picked last time.
Motocross,
and it was
supercross.
wrong.
That's your okay.
Yeah.
All right, Bagel.
Yeah.
Which motorsport discipline do you think has the lowest number of female racers? And you have
Scooter racing.
Again, it's motocross and supercross, road racing, enduro and hard enduro, flat track, dirt track. That's all one. Speedway, trials. What has the lowest number of female participants?
I'm going to say Speedway.
Speedway. Okay. Emma, we're back to you. Tick some of the means and strategies racers secure financial support for their racing. So here's the choices. Corporate sponsorship, grants, crowdfunding, industry programs, personal finances, or all of the above.
All of the above.
All right.
And crowdsourcing is a new one to me because, but everyone crowdsources now.
All right. We're going to knock. True or false knock? Women in world championship racing are not allowed to wear underwired bras.
Ooh, underwire bra. I want to say yes for safety reasons because they'll stab you.
So they are not allowed?
No, they're not allowed.
So we'll say true.
True.
Johnny, true or false? Women in world championship racing are fined if their hair is not appropriately tied back and tucked in.
I'm going to say true.
True. All right. Shall we see how you all did?
Yes.
And view score. You guys got 60 out of 80 points. So how many laps Speedway riders race for? 4.
There you
That
go.
was
4.
correct.
Oh.
All right. What is the maximum number of participants allowed in a flat track race?
That was like 12, right?
12. Correct.
Nice.
How many sections are typically in an ACU trials event? The answer was 10 to 15. Got that one wrong. Which motorsport discipline do you think has the highest number of female racers? Wendy said motocross, supercross, trials.
Yeah.
Trials. Technical.
Trials. Which motorsport discipline has the lowest number of female racers? Bagel said speedway, and he is correct.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh. Because only madmen ride Speedway.
Strategies used for racers to secure financial support, all of the above.
Absolutely.
Make that money.
Are women not allowed to wear underwired bras? That is true.
Is that true?
That is true.
Oh, my God.
And
What a
don't want
lucky
to
call.
cut them titties off.
Well,
just saying.
We
No,
love
I
them
mean,
titties, girls.
and having had an underwire actually snap,
Yeah.
it could be fatal. If you
Ooh.
wreck a bike, you're talking about a sharp,
Yeah.
kind of U-shaped piece of metal that it could be fatal.
They should just
So-
make him out of safety wire.
And
Well-
an impact. Okay, yeah, no, that's a good point.
Well, I mean, like that in my mind, I was thinking like underwires are now kind of like composites or plastic, right?
No, they're
there's
still
actual
steel.
Underwire, yeah. Okay.
No, they're still steel.
Okay.
And then
Dang, Doc,
lastly,
you didn't know that?
No.
Jeez.
I
are
haven't taken a bra off in a while. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dry spell.
You need to, Knock, you need to grow some titties, dude.
okay, calm down. Lastly, are women in world championship racing fined if their hair is not appropriately tied back and tucked in? True. Yeah, that would be a safety thing. So this is something that like I said, anyone can do. There's a lot of fun things and ways to learn in here. So thanks for bringing that up. And go check out the Were app. Now, I had other stuff we're going to cover that I think I'm going to bump because we're running out of time. But Bagel, let's save the armor for next week. However, did you get an update on, I'm calling it the new Honda Zero?
Yes. This would be the Honda WN7.
And so the question I'm asking, and this is what I'm curious to know, Honda, and Wendy, I don't know if you know anything about this yet, but Honda has waited in the wings before releasing an electric motorcycle. It's coming out in Europe, not here to the States yet. So I was curious to know, are they pushing the field? Are they bringing something cheaper or that goes longer? Or Emma, do you think they're just playing it safe and just bringing in their entry that's similar to everyone else's? What do you think, Emma? Do you think Honda's playing it safe? Or do you think they are pushing the envelope on what's possible?
They haven't been crazy since like the 90s.
No,
right?
Honda. That's not who Honda are.
Yeah.
Honda are really a very conservative company, and I guarantee you that the technology in the WN7 is nothing new.
Yeah.
It'll be very refined. It'll be absolutely reliable. It'll be of the highest quality, but it won't be innovative.
So, Bagel, tell us, what is your opinion? How did Honda do?
Yeah, I would say this is a very conservative electric bike. I'm sure it will be very good quality. It will probably be pleasant to ride. It will work well and reliably, I'm sure. But it's not really anything spectacular or breaking any new ground in terms of performance or even design, really. The most notable thing about it is that it has what they're calling a frameless design, where the battery housing, similar to some internal combustion bikes where they have the engine as a stress member of the frame, in this one, the battery housing is the chassis of the bike. The forks basically bolt to the front of the battery housing, and the drivetrain, the motor and rear suspension bolt to the back. So that is a clever way of approaching an electric bike, because it does save a significant amount of weight, which is important because that battery is a big and heavy piece of equipment. So any weight savings you can get is going to help help the weight overall for the bike and help the performance of it. Now, this bike, it weighs in at 479 pounds. For a bike, it's a little on the heavy side, but not too bad. They're classifying this as equivalent to about a 600cc internal combustion motorcycle.
Okay.
It has a 9.3 kilowatt hour lithium ion battery.
That's it?
Yep.
That's
9.3.
small.
How many?
Yeah.
Wait, how much was that again?
9.3.
Yeah, 9.3. And other
Does
electric
that
bikes have 14.
Does
or
that
more.
surprise you?
What does yours have? Your bike outside?
I'm a little surprised.
4.3. That's 30 miles.
Yeah, but it's like supermoto.
It's not
thing.
400 pounds either.
Yeah, but it's not a street bike that you go out for a ride all day on.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
okay.
Yeah. Now this one, it's running at about 350 volts.
Really?
It does,
okay.
Yeah, it does have a good charging system. It is set up. Now, this is the European market bike. It's set up for CCS charging, and it will do 20 to 80% in 30 minutes, which is not bad. On level 2 charging, in 2.5 hours, it'll go from 0 to 100%. So it's a reasonably
this is really middle of the road.
I mean, it's not anything spectacular. It's not DC fast charging, but it's viable.
I'll tell you where it falls. So 0, and then even some of the other production brands that are out there, they're trying to bring something out that will rival other people's street bikes. So you can go out and ride for a day, and then you have a lot of these, what I call them, boutique brands that are making small little commuter bikes that are under like 10 grand. That, to me, they're not really pushing the envelope at all. They're just trying to make a cheap small bike with like a single battery that's cute, and like the Mave, or there's a lot of even Cake, that they look cute or different, but they're supposed to be like little urban explorers or little bar hoppers, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. The 0 is like
and
14
it seems like that Honda's just gone right down the middle.
Yeah, they kind of have, and I think the reason why is because this is sort of a compromise that is a good urban commuter bike.
Yeah, it's
because it's got a reasonably decent range for urban environments, 82 miles. It's got a 67 horsepower motor, so you're not going to be hauling ass down the freeway on it, but it's great for for zipping around town.
Well, what I was going to say, Bagel, it's not the fastest. It's not the fastest charging. It's not the cheapest. It's not finding its corner. That it's not the coolest or the cutest or the whatever. It's not finding its corner. It's just going right up the middle. Yeah. This is exactly as you said, Emma. They are just playing it safe.
And you can be assured it's going to be great quality. You can be assured it's going to have a good warranty. And it's going to be pleasant to ride, because Honda simply don't make unpleasant bikes to ride.
Yep.
But I think they're going to test the waters. I expect great things from Honda and Yamaha and Kawasaki and Suzuki in the future.
I'll tell you.
I think right now Honda are testing the waters and seeing what kind of market there is for this thing. We're seeing interest in electric vehicles be quite volatile.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you're Stark Varg, you get like 200% growth.
But here's the thing. I'll tell you why I'm disappointed in Honda. Because we've seen this happen over and over and over. A 5-year-old electric bike is an old story.
Right.
Right. And so everyone is trying to carve a niche and provide something someone else hasn't.
Maybe Honda's niche is the stability that you can buy this bike and it's not going to change substantially.
Yeah. Maybe, but they're not carving their niche and they're not being the best at anything. They've just gone right down the middle. They've not pushed the field. They've not done anything. I'm curious to see
what you can do with an electric power plant, really. I mean, it's a motor and a battery.
No, that's not true. I mean, look at what they're doing with charging.
But Verge, that might be what the market needs.
The battery is still kind of out on Verge right now anyways. It's still, they say it's this thing, but it's not, we don't know quite yet.
Yeah, so I get, And in all fairness, I guess we have to wait and see until they're out and see what they bring.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and also, I want to say that another thing about this bike that's going to make it difficult to get into it is it comes with the price tag, at least in the UK, is listed as £13,000, which is about $18,000.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
It's not a cheap bike
for a middle of the road bike.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, now conventional wisdom. Right. Now, conventional wisdom says that whatever it's selling for in the UK, it'll sell for about here. I don't know if that applies to electric bikes the same way as it does to gas bikes, because there may be different incentives and governmental things over there that we don't have here now that may make it more expensive here if it comes here. And that's another thing I wanted to mention, because on a tangent, Honda, the car company, just announced the other day that they are pulling their plans to build 3 different model EV cars in the U.S.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
So I mean, everyone's pulling out of investing into the U.S. Zeros move their offices to Europe.
But my point though is that if Honda's not is reversing their plans, and this is going to cost them $16 billion. This decision, if they're doing that for their cars, I think there's the chances are slim to none that we're going to see the electric motorcycle coming here.
So by pulling out of the U.S. market, as far as like EVs, they're losing $16 billion. They've already invested X amount in here.
They've invested a whole ton of money into producing these vehicles. There's an Acura RDX car, a Honda Zero sedan, a Honda Zero SUV. That they all had made plans to build and sell here in the U.S., but with the changes to tariffs and taking away the incentives for EVs, it doesn't make financial sense anymore for Honda to continue with these plans. So they have to now take a $16 billion loss instead of pressing ahead and losing even more. So it's
wild.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Well, thank you for that report. It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I don't know. Right off the bat, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, but I think it will. I think it has a lot of promise in Europe. I will say that in the UK and other urban areas around Europe, even in some suburban areas, I think it's a bike that has a lot of promise.
All right. Well, I wanted to get to some emails. Knock, do you gotta leave? Or
Yeah,
you
scoot
sticking
out.
it out? All
Yeah.
right. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
Knock.
thanks for having me. It's
Also,
been a while.
just so you know, I'm about to read an email, and this one is from our good friend Crockett Josh, and he says he signs off. I'll just go to the end. Your friend and fuck Knock.
Hell yeah. You still remember me.
Oh yeah.
I existed.
All right. See you, Knock.
All right, take it easy, yo. Good one.
And so I got one here. So yeah, this is from my friend Crockett Josh. He says, "Hey Liza, as a fellow Tracer owner, lover, rider, I wanted to give you a hearty congratulations. These bikes, in my opinion, come the closest to a Goldilocks machine out of all the bikes offered in the market." I like that phrase. Hey, Knock, what do we live in a barn? Jesus. He says, when I was searching for a new bike a few years ago, my requirements seemed to be a tall order. My next bike had to be comfortable and capable of long-distance touring, be fun in the twisties and on the track, over 100 horsepower, cheap to maintain, comfy for my sweetie on the back, and be capable of lugging around camping gear, groceries, and other domestic paraphernalia. The only bike back in 2022 that really seemed to fit my requirements was the Tracer GT.
Right.
He says, I've put 22,000 trouble-free miles on it, taken it on a 5,000-mile road trip to Yellowstone, and it's essentially replaced my car given its massive luggage capacity. Did I mention the thing rips in the twisties? The 890cc triple drips with torque. It sings when you wring its throat, and while it's not street triple nimble, it dives willingly into any corner you decide to stuff it into. I will, however, say the engine on the 849cc version, and that's what I'm going to go pick up, and that's what's in my Nikon as well. He says that actually has a better feel to me than on his 21. On the 890cc engine in modern Tracers and MT-09s, Yamaha neutered the throttle mapping in first and second gear a bit, meaning you never get full throttle even if you twist the throttle to the stops. Also, the fuel map is tuned more for emissions than for smooth fueling. I much prefer the engine tucked into your Tracer. It feels meatier and smoother. Either way, I think you're going to love your Tracer as I love mine. They're unbelievably practical, fun, and make for a great do-it-all bike. Your friend, Crockett Josh, fuck Knock.
Very good. And Knock did indeed just fuck off.
He did.
Yeah, so those were all the things I was looking for, which I think makes that the best bike. But we'll see, Wendy, once we hit the twisties, if you can keep up with me.
Oh,
I got a Tracer email too.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
It's from Tony G.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony G.
What a coincidence. I was looking through a list of motorcycles with adaptive cruise control, and the Tracer 9 looked like the top candidate, so I may get one myself. Know anyone who wants an NM4?
Yes. This is our friend Tony up in the city. Emma, that's a weird bike, an NM4.
Isn't it?
Maybe I should get that instead. That'll just drive Wendy crazy. Let's go to Bagel. You have one there?
Yes, I do. I have an email here from Alan in the UK.
Oh.
He writes, "Hey, Misfits. Thank you for your advice a few weeks ago regarding how to best sell my wife's bike. I followed it to the letter, and this weekend we will be saying goodbye to the old NC750S as it heads to its new home. On your last podcast, you were discussing technology appearing on bikes before its time.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to submit hub center steering into the mix.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
As far as I remember, the Bimotor Tessie and Yamaha GTS were amongst the most well-known examples, but even those weren't particularly popular."
Hold on, pause real quick. Emma, there is inherent advantages to this kind of suspension in that when you hit a bump, rather than driving it straight up through the bike into the handlebars, it absorbs it completely without you feeling it. Absolutely. Why didn't this succeed? Is it just too complicated?
It's complex. It requires very, very careful setting up. And when it goes bad quickly. So the thing is with hub center steering, if you've ever been lucky enough to ride a hub center bike, they are quite amazing.
And just real quickly, for people who don't know, explain how it is.
The easiest way to describe a hub center steering bike, it has a swing arm on the front, but a single-sided swing arm. And then all the turning of the wheel is done at the hub itself.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest way to describe it.
But yeah, as you said, because it's a swing arm, you can absorb a bump, but it doesn't transfer up to anything.
It's very smooth riding. It naturally has anti-dive capabilities because when you hit the brakes, the momentum, the torque of the wheel is pushing down on the swing arm while the road is trying to push the swing arm up, so it has natural anti-dive characteristics. The other advantage is the wheelbase of your bike changes minimally through a corner. Now, we use this to our advantage when we go in the Dolomites. When we honk the brakes on our BMWs, basically by compressing the forks and compressing the rear suspension, we're shortening the wheelbase of the bike so we can turn in quicker. And then you relax the brakes, lengthen the bike, and it pulls you out of the corner. It's a very European technique. But with a hub center bike, there's no real change in the wheelbase. So it's very predictable handling. And this is going to dovetail very nicely into an email that I'm going to read when Bagel's done with his.
So Alan had a question.
Yes.
So he says, given that traditional forks have been dominant for so long, why is it that there's been so little development of the front end? Surely it can't be just down to cost.
Well, no, it has been developed.
I mean, look at all the BMWs. That's a completely different.
The first real... The answer is it works extremely well. Telescopic forks are a very, very good and compact and cost-effective solution for a problem. Have they been developed? Oh, God, you bet they have. Really, the first bike with a modern suspension at the front was the Norton featherbed frame by the Irish twins, the McCandless brothers. And they designed road holder forks. And road holder forks are really considered the first modern fork, but they are so antiquated compared with the stuff you can buy on very mundane bikes now. Forks have come a long way. The basic principle remains the same. It's a spring, boing, 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 with damping to slow it down. But they really have been developed to the max over a period of 60, no longer than that now, 75, 80 years. But they work extremely well. So, tra-la-la.
What else does he have to say, Bagel?
He continues, as I write this, I've half remembered hub center steering may have appeared on one or two death traps. Sorry, scooters, too. I'm sure Bagel would know this better. And, of course, the Italjet Dragster 180 that we know and love. And the new modern, isn't there a new modern one that has hub center steering, too?
Yeah, there's a bunch of the kids in the garage today. One of them was like, I was going to get in a scooter. I'm like, well, you've got money. You want to see the sexiest scooter in the world? And they laughed like, who would ever put those two words together? I'm like, Google it. And suddenly they went, oh, my God. I'm like, yep.
What was the bike that was here last week that had the different front end? Do you remember we all were looking at that?
That was that was the Goldwing.
The Goldwing, that's right.
Yeah.
That had a really
they have very peculiar front ends. The goofiest front end is on the Rune. And you look at it, and you're like, okay, that's like Springer. No, it's kind of a girder. No, it's telescopic. But when you actually ride it, everything's going opposite to where you think it's going to be. You hit a bump, and things go down. They don't come up. And you're looking at the front end of this bike, and it's like, bloody hell, what's this doing?
Yeah.
But it's very cool.
Physics.
Yes, science, Bagel. Science. It's scientific.
Let's finish the email.
Anyway, Continuing. On that note, I really hope and wish Bagel well with his new vehicle renovation business. I'm
he's a
sure to be a
wanker.
great success. Thank you, Alan. You also spoke about the NR750, which I remember launching with great fanfare back when I was in my late teenage years. Our main motorbike newspaper wrote an article which is stuck in my head for the last article, which is stuck in my head for the last 30 years. The bike was around £35,000 new.
Yep.
But to build one entirely from genuine Honda spares would cost a total of £78,000. I can't remember the point they were trying to make, as I was only earning £100 a week as a digger driver at the time. Anyhow, regards to all the misfits and best of luck for your upcoming rally. Your friend, Alan, not Steve.
Cheers, Alan.
P.S. I've just found a Yamaha GTS for sale on Marketplace for £4,500.
Oh, buy it, you bugger.
I showed you that bike, Emma. What'd you think?
Yeah, it's heavily modified. It's kind of, it's the bastard love child of a Yamaha GTS and a Yamaha R6 and a single-sided swing arm thrown in as well. It's very peculiar. And a curious mishmash of very modern stuff and 30-year-old stuff. I think it's fucking brilliant. And it's also in the Wirral. So, some Scouser built it. So that makes it better, in my opinion.
Yeah. He says, I can't say I'm not tempted.
No, I think you should buy it immediately, Alan.
Do it.
Dude.
Thank you, Alan, for sending that email. Emma, you got one?
Yeah, I do. And this is from K-Bike Dave from Columbus, Ohio.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, guys, I was wondering if y'all could explain if Elf motorcycle was ahead of its time. Oh, God, it was. Let me tell you a little bit about what the Elf was.
Elf connected to BMW?
Not really.
Okay.
So Elf was a French oil producer who did a lot of corporate sponsorship of racing in the 70s and 80s. And they came up with this creation. It got various engines in. I mean, it was really a chassis of a hub center racing bike. Very, very short distance between the front and the rear swing arm pivot, which basically made it very salty and lively indeed. A lot of racers tried it. It metamorphosized into an endurance racer, which is where it became best known. It wasn't really suited for short tracks, but back in the day, they did this, the Bol d'Or, which was 24-hour race at the old Paul Ricard circuit in Paris. And all of Europe would descend on Paul Ricard and just basically get outrageously drunk for 24 hours and watch motorbikes going around. And that really wasn't very important. But having fun and partying and, sex, drugs, booze, that was the important thing. But the Elf, you talk about a moment in time. The Elf came of age as a very wild British motorcycle racer called Ron Haslam really reached the top of his game. And Ron Haslam really tamed the Elf, and he was the only one who ever could. And he put in some amazing times on this bike. And for a while, it was very, very competitive. But it seemed he was the only one who could really get the most out of it. And as his career declined, so did the Elf. Kind of just went away. It was a moment in time, but it was a hub center bike. Amazing to look at. Amazing to look at with the fairing on, but there are plenty of pictures with the fairing off. And you look at this thing and you think, oh my God, how can that work? But it did. All based on science, or lack thereof. And it really, the lesson to be learned is you can apply the greatest scientific principles to a motorcycle or a car or an aircraft, but it'll still ride like a three-legged horse. even if you do everything right. But a moment in time. And when I see pictures of the elf, I'm immediately transported back to those glorious Boldore races in the mid-'80s and all the fun we had watching them wobble around the circuit with Rocket Ron on board.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that the end of the email?
No. So, this leads me to BMW's different front suspension solutions over the time. Earls, Telelever and Duolever. They all look cool, but are they any better than standard forks? Any conversion would be interesting. Also for pretty bikes, I think the classic 1968 Triumph Bonneville is the prettiest ever made, and I like the new T100 as well. They did a good job at keeping it as close to the original look as possible. I love your show. It is the highlight of my week. I told my wife when we visit California, we're going for a visit to the garage. Have a good weekend. K-Bike Dave. Yeah, and I mean, it's no surprise that the bikes that have the alternative front end. So let's talk a little bit about them. BMW. What can I tell you about BMW bikes? Well, they're expensive. Goldwings. What can I tell you about Goldwings? They're expensive. What can I tell you about Hondaroons? They're expensive. The fact of the matter is, developing a working front end that has some advantages over a telescopic fork is an expensive process. And when we have to factor everything else in, innovation's great. And I don't want to sound like a technophobe, because there's always room for improvement. But at the end of the day, a motorbike has to be cheap enough that a working man or woman can go down, plonk their hard-earned down, and ride out the door. That's what motorbikes are for.
Reliable as well.
And reliably so, that you don't break the bank maintaining the things. Now, BMW have done a great job. Really, the Telelever is the big famous one, and it's very, very widespread, and it's proven very reliable. It's not without problems, it's not without cracking, it's not without failure in bushings, but you know, it started off on an expensive bike. As far as I'm concerned, hydraulic telescopic forks are still king. There's a good reason for that. When you factor in everything, simplicity, reliability, cost to the consumer, can't go wrong, really.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Tra-la-la.
That concludes this show.
Really big show.
Really big show. But first, I do want to do some quick announcements. I still got a couple of our Patreon subscribers who are getting their t-shirt orders in. So if you haven't gotten the message, go ahead and reach out to me so I can give you that discount code to get your t-shirt for free. And if you would like one, you can be a Patreon subscriber for $5 or more a month. Go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com and you can find the link to be a Patreon subscriber, to reach out to us, to email us. Go check out the t-shirt design, see if you like it.
And very briefly, I would like to thank every single person who came out to the Monterey Mini Bike Show yesterday at Cycle Gear.
I didn't know about that. I didn't get an invitation.
I told Jim to invite you.
I haven't talked to Jim.
Never mind. It goes on every year. I was judging. There were some absolutely splendid bikes. A jolly good time was had by all. And everybody rode mini bikes to Big Sur today, which should be fun on a bus.
Actually, I did see some pictures from there, and I saw that there was somebody with the sidecar, same kind I have.
Exactly.
I'm just wondering if they actually rode that on the streets.
They did. And it was attached to one of the Baja Designs Honda Gram, which is also known as the Hafrika twin.
Oh, right.
And there was a little stuffed monkey in the sidecar. So to everyone who came out and had a good time, thank you for coming out. Thank you for attending. Thank you, Jack, the organizer, for choosing Mototown to sponsor the trophies. Cha-ching.
You did not tell us about it. I would have gone. Would you have gone, John?
I would like to.
I would love to have gone.
I had nothing going on yesterday. I was just hanging out, wishing I had a motorcycle event to go to.
Oh, God. I feel so guilty now. I shall go home and sit in the grass and have a little cry.
Because apparently that's what you do. No, I would love to go next year. Let us know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it.
Cool. And big thanks to all of you listeners, but especially to Wendy and Bagel for coming and joining us. Wendy, I look forward to our ongoing debate.
It keeps our relationship lively.
Exactly. Thank you, everyone, for listening. motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
Yes.
Send us your email.
Yes.
On that note, time to get it out of here.
Yes,
Thanks.
yes.
This is Liza.
And it is Emma Darling.
Stumpy John.
It's Wendy.
And they go.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.